Hey, what is up guys? And I am back here with another video in my Tracklist ranking series. And today we will be looking at the album Friend of a Phantom by VOLA. This album came out on November 1st, 2024. So as of the day I'm filming this, it was yesterday. As I mentioned in my review, which is already out, I think this album is 10 out of 10. I think it's really good. I think every song is great. So just keep in mind as I rank these songs, I think all of them are awesome. So if your favorite is my last place and my favorite would be your personal last place, let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I think all these songs are great. So if your favorite song is in my last place, I can understand why you put it at first, because I think all these songs are great. So before we get into it, let's talk about the personnel for the album. So on guitar and vocals, we have Oscar Maijind. On drums, Adam Janzi. On keys, Martin Werner. And bass, Nikolai Mogensen. Now I apologize if I messed up any of those names. I believe they're Danish. They're Danish bands, so not names I'm very familiar with, but yeah, so I apologize if I messed any of those up. But yeah, I mean, let's just get right into the track list. So as I was looking through this ranking, the hardest part was finding the one song that I had to put at last. Because honestly, I would choose to listen to all 9 of these songs, because I think they're all great. They're all great songs. There's no exceptions. I think they're all great. Even my last place I think is great, but eventually I had to choose one. So for my number 9, I chose Paper Wolf. And I know, like, this was the lead single on the album. It came out actually over a year ago, and so I think that's partially why I have it in last place, because I think I've just heard it so many times that before the album released, that I'm kind of like, okay, like, I'm already very familiar with this song. When I first heard it, I thought it was like, okay, this is pretty good. It's grown on me a little bit, but I still just think, like, it's good. It's pretty good, but for me, it's not like new anymore, and as the rest of this album is new and exciting. And even it is new and exciting, I don't think there's any recency bias in this placement, because I don't know, I think it's the main riff is really cool, and I think the bridge is awesome. And like, it's a great song, but I had to put one at last, and I think this is probably the song I would choose to listen to the least. So my number 9, Paper Wolf. Now my number 8, this one I was surprised actually went this low, because I think this song is amazing. My number 8 is Trey. This is the closing song of the album, and honestly, I think it does a fantastic job of closing the album. It's very melodic. It's kind of slower, like, kind of floaty vibe to it. Oscar's vocals on the song are absolutely fantastic. There's a great, huge chorus. And honestly, I really like this song. And unfortunately, I just like every other song more. Like, I would still put this song on and enjoy it very, very much. But unfortunately, I just like all the songs more. And nothing against this song. I think it's really good. But I just have 7 songs above it. So my number 8 is Now, my number 7 is Glass Mannequin. Now, this kind of has the same vibe as Trey. These are kind of the 2, I would say, softer songs on the album. Or, like, very slow and floaty kind of songs. This song in particular, the lyrics are fantastic. The lyrics on the song are really, really good. And honestly, it's a great song. Like, it reminds me of kind of, I would say, Vertigo on Applause of a Distant Crowd. It kind of has that same vibe. I know I've been saying the word floaty a lot, but it's very atmospheric, very kind of just immerse yourself in the music. And I think it's really, really good. But personally, I prefer VOLA when they're heavier, it's fine. That's my personal preference. And so I love having this contrast on the album. And I think the album playthrough is awesome, especially when this song comes on. It's like, okay, this is a really nice break. But if I'm ranking the songs individually, which I am right now, I have to put it at 7, because I just prefer all the songs above it. So my number 7 is Glass Mannequin. My number 6 was the 3rd single released for this album, I Don't Know How We Got Here. Now this is probably, I would say, the third softest song on the album. This one is kind of a softer, more low-key song, but it's not really slow. It's pretty up-tempo, upbeat. I have to say, a standout on the song is the drums. The drum pattern that Adam does on the song is absolutely awesome. Really, really cool. as well as the keyboard kind of melody soaring over it. The chorus is great. VOLA has always has amazing choruses, and they kind of have this. VOLA chorus has just had this identity where it's very simple, and yet it feels so complex because of how good they are at constructing melodies. Like all these VOLA songs, the melodies are so unique, like nothing I've ever heard before, and yet it's so catchy that it feels so simple. But I've never heard anything like it, and they have this way of creating complex simplicity, which I know does not make sense really, but that's just the way I feel it because their choruses are so awesome and so unique. And I think I Don't Know How We Got Here is a great song, really, really good. I like the bridge, how it's just a clean guitar playing like one note, and I don't know how it works so well, but the simplicity of it makes it so great and so effective. So my number 6, I Don't Know How We Got Here. So my number 5 is Hollow Kid. This is the 8th song on the album, and I think it's really good. I think this one, the riff at the beginning is really cool, how it kind of takes a minute to actually start, and then once the verse kicks in, then the vocals are going along with the guitar riff, which I think is really, really cool. That's a very like progressive metal thing. You'll hear that a lot in other progressive metal music. The verse is really cool. The guitars are awesome. I think the chorus is great, especially the last chorus when it kind of gets slower and then kicks in again. They do that a couple times on this album in a couple songs where they have a isolated line of the chorus and then it kicks back in. On this one at the end, it's really, really good. I don't have a ton to say about this song because it's pretty simple, but it's pretty heavy, and I like it. I think it's a great song. I don't have a lot to say about it, but it is a great song. So my number 5 is Hollow Kid. My number 4 is, I believe, the second single release for this album, Break My Lying Tongue. Now, when I first heard this song, I didn't like it at all. The keyboards that are very in the forefront of the mix were too loud and too aggressive for me, because it's just like this aggressive, like attacking melody. I think everyone understands if they've heard the song how it's a very aggressive keyboard part. When I first heard it, it just caught me off guard a little bit, and I didn't really know what to think of it. Now, I think it's awesome. It's very commanding keyboard presence. I think it fits with the song super well. The vocals on the song are absolutely fantastic by Asger. His vocals are just so good. His range and falsetto is awesome. The drums are great. Bass is great. But the standout of this track, in my opinion, is the bridge with the kind of keyboard solo. There's not very many solos on this album, and so when you get kind of a cool keyboard break like that, it sticks out a lot, and I think the bridge of the song with the keyboard is really, really nice. But yeah, overall, great song. So my number 4, Break My Lying Tongue. Now my number 3 is the most recent single released for this, is Cannibal. This song features Anders Frieden of In Flames, and I am a big fan of old In Flames, like around late 90s, early 2000s era of In Flames. And so for them to mix with VOLA is a really cool contrast, because in my opinion, this is the heaviest song on the album. Really, really good. Asger's voice is very calm, very relaxed in the first verse, and then you have an awesome chorus, just one of the most VOLA choruses I've ever heard. And if you're a fan of the band, you know what I'm talking about. It's just so signature VOLA. And then Anders comes in on the second verse and has harsh vocals the whole time. And then in the chorus, the harsh vocals and the clean vocals are contrasting, and they kind of mix together. And it's just a really cool, it's just a really cool comparison. When I heard this song for the first time, I was like, okay, I am excited for this album, because the first 3 singles were all good, but none of them caught my attention quite like this. I was like, okay, I am ready for this album. VOLA is back. This is a top-tier VOLA song immediately, and I knew that. And yeah, my number 3, Cannibal. Great. Now, my number 2 song just absolutely came out of nowhere. It surprised me how much I loved it. My number 2 is We Will Not Disband. This is the 3rd song on the album, and as soon as that intro came in with the clean guitar, I was like, okay, you have my attention, VOLA. Where are you going to take me? And then that plays for a little bit, and then the keys come in, playing the melody, and then the verses are so catchy. I don't even, like, I can't even explain why. The verses are just so good on this song, and then the chorus comes in, and it's just, like, it all comes together just to make an awesome song. This song feels really simple, and yet it's got that VOLA complexity that makes just a song amazing. Like, the melodies are so unique. It's like nothing I've ever heard before, and yet it's so good and so signature VOLA. I can already tell this is going to be one of my favorite VOLA songs of all time. And this literally came out yesterday, so the first time I heard it was yesterday, and so all this has to go where the only place this has to go is up in my top VOLA songs, and I know it will, because when I hear the song more, it just gets better every time. Like, I'm just really excited that there are songs in this album that I love so much, and this is definitely one of them. My number 2, We Will Not Disband. Really, really good song. My number 1, this song, when I heard this song on the album, I was just absolutely shocked at how good it was. My number 1 is Bleed Out. Oh boy, I mean, this song is just the perfect mix of heavy and melodic. I would say this is probably the second heaviest song on the album. It's so good. It starts, and the vocals in the beginning of the verse are pretty, like, distorted, which is a pretty common thing for VOLA to do. But I've always liked it when they've done it. I think it's really unique and really cool the way they are able to execute that. And then it kicks in to this pre-chorus, which when I first heard the song, I thought it was the chorus. So I was like, okay, like, this is pretty good. And then I was waiting for that to go back to the distorted verse, and then it just kicked in to a massive chorus. And in my opinion, this is the best chorus on the entire album. It is just so good, so commanding. It's so VOLA. And then you get to the breakdown, and the breakdown is so heavy, and you just have him repeating the same line over something like, I think it's I'm Covered in Blood, and he just keeps repeating it, and then it gets heavier, and then the guitars fully kick in, and Asgard is using full-on growls, full-on screams to convey this bridge, and it's so good. And then after that, you get to this new bridge melody that's so good, and then you have the first line of the chorus, like, sung cleanly, and then you kick in to the whole chorus, the whole bombastic sounding chorus. It's just awesome. This song is so good. In my opinion, the best song on the album. I am so happy with the song. I was very surprised at how good it was when I first heard it. But yeah, Bleed Out, my number 1. Such an awesome song. So good. So that is my tracklist ranking of the album Friend of a Phantom by VOLA. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite song on the album is, how you would rank the songs on the album, because I'm very interested to hear how everyone reacts to this album. Let me know if it's your favorite VOLA album, least favorite. I just want to know what you think about it, because I think it's awesome. I think it's a 10 out of 10 album. I think it's amazing. So if you're a fan of VOLA, I want to hear if you love it or you hate it. Who knows? I mean, I hope you don't hate it, because, I mean, this sounds very similar to their other records, so I'm sure if you're already a VOLA fan, this will be just for you. So go check out this album. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.